Oh, hello again. Good to see you. Thanks for joining with me. I'm in the middle of finishing my Christmas decorations, and actually there's some lights in here that don't seem to be working, but more on that later. You know, as long as I have you, let me tell you my favorite Christmas song. It's one that's kind of quiet, it's a little sleepy, but it hits me every time. It's O Come, Emmanuel. O come, Emmanuel. You know, as I was setting this up, we got the fire going and the vibes going. And the song, O come, Emmanuel came on. And I'm reminded of the very first time that we see that in the Bible. In fact, it's in Isaiah. It's Isaiah chapter 7. Let me grab it here. Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14. God's speaking to him, and this is what he says. Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will be conceived and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel. You know, Emmanuel is a Hebrew word. It's actually 3 Hebrew words combined together. And it translates to mean God with us. God with us. When I was in middle school, my youth pastor told us a story about God with us, and I never forgot it. And I wonder if that's why O Come, Emmanuel is my favorite Christmas song. The story was about how when he was growing up, there was this kid, his next door neighbor, and his next door neighbor was kind of like the kid Sid from Toy Story. We're just like menacing and like to destroy things. And so Sid, his neighbor one day, began to put peanut butter on the sidewalk. He goes, what's going on? There's peanut butter. He's putting it on the sidewalk and he's laughing. Okay. And as he's putting peanut butter on the sidewalk, he runs back inside and waits for 20 minutes. And then he comes back out, and Sid takes one of these big wheel carts and begins to line up. And what you didn't notice, but until you walked in closer, was that going after the peanut butter were all these ants. All these ants who were walking and going towards the peanut butter. And as they were walking towards the peanut butter, we got to get the peanut butter, Sid kept on moving, and Sid took his little bike and then and ran right over them. And so he kept going back and forth with his big wheel, just ramming over these tiny little ants. And it's almost like you wanted to jump down and yell at the ants and be like, no, turn away, you're walking to your doom and your death, and Sid's going to come for you. And he continued to talk, and I remembered this message so vividly, because essentially that's what God does, where we are like these little ants, and God is so much more than that. But yet God reduced himself to become like ants, to become human, to be God with us. And the amazing thing about that story is the ability of the greater to become the lesser, and the miracle of the incarnation is that God made himself human so that he could speak in a way for us to understand that would transform not just our lives, but give us salvation. God with us, 3 of the most powerful words in the Bible, Emmanuel. As you go throughout your days and your weeks, and as you set up for your Christmas times, my encouragement is for you to remember that you are not alone. That it is not God who set up the world and left it, but God with us in the midst of your pain and in the midst of your joy, in the midst of every area of your life. Chap once spoke a message about what it would look like to invite God into the places of your life that require the most discipline. And that's a great place to start. Or another place, if you've got that one mastered, is to invite God into the unexpected, the unplanned, the interruptions of your life. But perhaps in Christmas season, the best thing that I could recommend to you to do is to invite God into the moments of joy. I think of how often I'm having these moments of joy, whether it's in the Christmas time or with family or with friends or doing exciting things. And what would it look like for me to invite God into those places, because he wants to celebrate with me too, because it is not God distant from us, but it is God with us. May you remember to bring God into your joy-filled moments this week and celebrate the life that he's given you, both now and forever. Have a great week.